sunrise over the Fisherman's Bastion here in Budapest, Hungary. This is probably one of the most beautiful viewpoints you can see in the entire world. Welcome to Hungary's capital city. Welcome to the biggest city that Hungary has to offer. Welcome to Budapest. As I mentioned earlier, we are currently at the Fisherman's Bastion, this beautiful place located on the side of Buda here across the Danube. And you've got this beautiful structure. It's almost like a fort, but this entire place was literally designed as a viewpoint. That was its only purpose. There was no other purpose other than for the views of Budapest, and I love it. I love that the architects came together and said, the only reason we want this thing to look good and look nice is simply for the purpose of viewing pleasure, which is insane. But this place is stunning. The Fisherman's Bastion is one of those things that you have to see, especially at sunrise, because the sun will rise from the opposite side of the city, right behind the Hungarian Parliament building, which you can see is that beautiful thing with a bunch of spires and a dome right on the middle, sort of the dark red ceiling of that building. But it's absolutely beautiful. This is one of those sort of bucket list points. And you can see the beautiful Danube River just flowing through the city of Budapest. Now, like I said, we are on the side of Buda, and Budapest is divided into two parts. So we've got Pest, which is on the east side, and Buda, which is on the west side. We are currently on Buda, so we are currently on the west side of the city, and today we're going to be exploring Buda, okay? Now, we're currently at the Fisherman's Bastion, which I already mentioned, but right behind the Fisherman's Bastion is the Matthias Church, which is one of the most beautiful and one of the biggest churches here in Budapest. Unfortunately, it is currently closed, and I'm not sure if it's going to be open. Just looking at it from the outside, just looking at it from the Fisherman's Bastion is going to be more than enough for me. And if you want to, when you're here in Budapest, feel free to go inside, check it out. But I'm not really sure what else there is to see. All right, we're going to go ahead and walk around and start exploring the beautiful side of Budapest, which is Buda. Now, of course, right behind the Fisherman's Bastion and the Matthias Church is actually an entire part of Budapest known as the Castle District. Now, you might be thinking, Budapest, this must be the Buda Castle, but it's not Buda Castle. This is just like in the old times where a little town of Buda would be located. That church is the same church from, hundreds of years ago. And you can see a lot of these old sort of buildings. This is like the old town of Budapest. It's not really the old town, but you have to keep in mind that, the city was split into Buda and Pest. And in terms of the Buda part, this is kind of like the old town of Buda. You can see that there's this beautiful statue right behind me. And even now it's like starting to be about like 9, 10-ish. And the tour buses are coming in, and there are tons and tons of people. So the biggest tip I can give you if you're coming to Budapest is that if you want to see Fisherman's Bastion and this entire part of the city, you need to come early in the morning, because when it fills up, Budapest is not necessarily the most beautiful city in the world, but if you come early in the morning, this is what you get, and it is absolutely worth it to have it all to yourself. I mean, literally, you can see right behind me, there's a tour group right there. So tour group number 1, tour group number 2, and there's more over there at Fisherman's Bastion. But this is the Castle District. It's a really, really old district, and it's just a nice place to walk around. Nowadays, it's quite gentrified. You've got a lot of nice cafes, nice restaurants. I think there's actually a Jimmy Oliver restaurant right over there. But as you can tell, not very traditional, really, really pricey. So we're gonna try and get out of here as soon as we can, because this is not the vibe. We've got one tour group over there, another tour group over there, There's another one down there. A bunch of all these different families all around here. Welcome to Budapest when you don't come here. Now, as I mentioned before, this area is the castle district, right? This is the castle area of Buda. And obviously, if it's a castle district and this is the old town where people used to live, you gotta protect it. So all along this entire area, you'll see this wall, this sort of red brick wall that just covers everything in this part of the city. And you've got this beautiful veranda here, which is just made of a wooden, very simple wooden structure, not painted, not nothing, but very, very simple, very rustic. But these walls have been around probably for hundreds of years, protecting the old castle district of Budapest, and they still stand today. The worst part is that when you come into this city, when you come into this part of the city, you gotta climb. You gotta climb these walls to get up here. It's not an easy hike. I can guarantee you that it's quite a few stairs because the entire castle district of Buda is sort of built on top of a hill, which is why you get such an amazing view of Budapest from Fisherman's Bastion. However, it is a difficult hike. I did see like an older couple that was really struggling to make it up here. So do keep that in mind when you're coming here. Of course you can drive up here. Of course you can take a bus here. Of course you can also take a taxi up here. So those are all options that you can take. But definitely beware. These walls, they guard the city, the old castle district of Budapest. And they're going to be there just to stay. And they make it more difficult to access. And with a view of Fisherman's Bastion and Matthias Church right behind me, you know that we are out of the castle district here in Budapest. Let's go explore the rest of Buda and see what else there is on this side of the Danube River. Now that we've made it off of the Buda Castle District, I feel like this entire area of Buda, just right along the Danube, which is right behind me, the river is right there, and you can see the Hungarian parliament is right there. But this part of Budapest seems very residential. It's just a bunch of apartments, a bunch of flats, a bunch of condos, but not a lot of like historical things. There are some churches, but today for some reason they're closed or they're abandoned, which is cool, but it's not that much, which is slightly surprising, but it's very residential. You see just like right behind me, this block of flats right here, that's definitely an apartment residential building. People live there, coming down there are condos. So everywhere I look, it just seems really residential of an area. So if you're living in Budapest, this might be where you might live. Well, walking just a little bit down, a little bit north from the riverside, we've come to a really old temple here in the side of Buda. This is the Saint Anna Temple. Let's go check it out. That was an absolutely beautiful church. The church bells are ringing right now. I think we've hit 10, 11, something like that. Wow, that's beautiful. I mean, you can see on the top the beautiful artwork, the beautiful paintings, the blues, the pinks, the whites. It's beautiful. It really is gorgeous. But it's just one of those churches where local people from Budapest go to pray, and I felt kind of out of place because there was just a bunch of local people praying, entering, going to do their, Sunday prayers, because today is Sunday. But going in there filming kind of was awkward because I was like the only one in there who was there for the tourism, not really for the religious experience. So that's interesting, but it's definitely a must-see when you're in Buda. It's very beautiful, and I just love how it's really small. It's really not that big, but the artwork and the paintings on the ceiling, on the dome, that is really worth coming for if you do come and visit Budapest. Now, earlier we were at the Buda, the castle district, where all the houses were, the beautiful place was, and of course the Fisherman's Bastion. But once you walk down south a little bit, you get to the real castle of Buda. This is finally Buda Castle. Just like the castle district, Buda Castle is also located on a hill, So we are currently climbing up. But the first section of Buda Castle that we're going to go and explore is called Varkert Bazaar. I think that's how you pronounce it. It's supposed to be a beautiful garden, but I think we're coming right up on it. Let me show you how beautiful this garden is supposed to be. Well, this right here is Varkert Bazaar, and it's nice, it's beautiful. The view out there, as you can see, that is what you really come for in this beautiful patio-like sort of structure, open air. That's what you really come for, and that's what's really famous here, at least. What we're gonna do is we're gonna keep climbing up. You can see the beautiful Danube river right behind me. You can see Pest, which is on the other side of the river. But let's go head up and see what else we can see at Buda Castle. This is the pathway up to the top of Buda Castle. It's a long walk, but let's get this started. It has been a hard hike up here, but we have made it not to the top of the castle, but just up that staircase. The real good viewpoint, I think, is over there, but I have to say, even from here, I've heard the viewpoint from Fisherman's Bastion. I think you get a better view of the Parliament building, you get a better view of Pest, which is on the other side. It's still a great view. I mean, look at this view behind me. It's one of the most magical views you're ever gonna see anywhere in the world. That is still absolutely stunning. My personal preference is just more Fisherman's Bastion. As long as you're going down a little bit over there, I think you get a better view of the Hungarian Parliament building. But that's not to say that this is still incredible. It is amazing. It is beautiful. You can see the river just flowing through. Now, one of the main key landmarks here in Budapest is that bridge right there. That is the rail to chain bridge here in Budapest. But the problem is that it is currently still under renovation, and usually at night it lights up. It's beautiful, but because it's under construction, you can't even cross the rail bridge anymore, which will give you a beautiful view of the Hungarian Parliament building. However, it's under construction, so hopefully, if you guys ever come to Budapest, it'll be done, it'll be new, and it'll be ready for you to walk over or drive over or whatever transport you want to cross the Danube, because that is a beautiful bridge. But just to let you know, that is the chain bridge. It's one of the most important bridges here in Budapest, but it's unfortunately just under construction right now. A quick other short staircase later, I think we are within the walls of the castle. I think, if I'm correct, that wall behind me, it's a massively tall wall. That should be the castle that sort of protects, that should be the wall that protects the castle of Buda. But I still don't know how to get up to the top. This place is literally like a maze. It's so difficult to navigate. I mean, you've got structures like these, which make you feel like, you know, you're in some medieval movie or something like that, something from like the Middle Ages, which is crazy, but it is beautiful. It really, really is beautiful. And you can see the entire castle, I mean, just right behind me here. It's incredible. Finally, after another little climb up, we've made it to the very top of this hill. This building right behind me may currently be the National Gallery of Artwork here in Hungary, but now this is Buda Castle. Like I said, it's a gallery nowadays, so it's just a lot of artwork now. A lot of famous Hungarian artists have their exhibitions in here. Currently, I think it's closed. I think it might be closed for the weekend, or it might be closed for the day. It might not be open. But either way, I'm not really interested in seeing Hungarian art. Not really my thing. But the structure still is massive. I mean, look at the sheer size of that structure. That is incredible. That is incredibly big. For me, the best part obviously is the view right behind me. You can see that beautiful Danube River, and you can see the Hungarian Parliament is just right there with the beautiful sort of maroonish dark red roof and the beautiful towers. Of course, we're going to see that in the next video. We're going to see that tomorrow when we explore the site of Pest. But today we're in Buda, and this right here is Buda Castle. Once I just walked through the main sort of big dome area of that castle, once you walk through it, it opens up into this beautiful courtyard right behind me. There's like a fake waterfall, there's trees and everything. And there's this beautiful building that's right behind me, but I didn't know that this was all in the castle. I thought the castle was that and that's it. But it's beautiful just to hang out around here. It's beautiful just to check it out. I mean, look at that structure behind me. That is beautiful. I mean, the carvings are so intricate. It's honestly just astonishing. It's really impressive to see how well carved all of this is. But let's go down. There's this building here that looks really beautiful with the roof tile and everything. I just want to go see what's inside. Okay, it turns out that building's closed. I don't know what it is, but I don't feel like climbing more stairs to go down and back up, so I'm too lazy to go down there and see what it is. It's closed, that's all I know. So even if I were to go down there, I don't know what it is. But it's impressive that all these carvings are so intricate. I'm just really impressed by how well preserved these carvings are. Apparently the architect who designed this royal palace was involved in like a lot of the world exhibitions at the time, at the turn of the 20th century, and it's beautiful. It honestly is stunning. I mean, looking right behind me, you can see that waterfall, you can hear the waterfall, those structures, those statues. That is really incredible. I mean, no wonder the Hungarian royal family hired him, because this is really well done, and like I said, the carvings are immaculate. Now that's Buda Castle right there, you walk up a little bit more and this right here becomes the sort of national palace, and this is the seat of power for the king of the Austro-Hungarian Empire. I mean, another residence at least. Today it's supposed to be the presidential palace as well. You can see there's an EU and there's a Hungarian flag at the front of the building, but it's really majestic. I mean, look at that sort of gate that marks the entrance into the palace. It is really beautiful. I mean, this is stunning. I was just reading earlier that they were saying that this sort of residence was comparable to the royal residences in those countries like France and Germany and Austria, and a lot of it was modeled based off of that. So you can really see that here. And of course, on the opposite side is the beautiful view of Budapest with the Parliament House and all of Pest on the other side. It's stunning, it's windy, the sun is out but it's starting to set. So let's get out of here and let's go to our final spot for the day. We've come to the start of the trek that is going to take us to the last stop of the day. The stairs start right here, but it's going to be a really hard hike. I don't know how I'm going to do it, it's tiring. You know, I woke up at 4 a.m. this morning. I don't know if I have the energy to do this, but for the vlog, for the views, I'm gonna try. Let's do this. Well, we finally made it to the top, but as you can see, it's completely blocked off. This place is called Gellert Hill, but it's closed, so let's go find a spot and let's go watch the sunset. And just like that, the sun has set over the beautiful city of Budapest. What an amazing day it's been today. I mean, exploring the Buda side of Budapest. Starting with this morning, the beautiful sunrise, the castle, and this hill, the church. It's really one of the most beautiful places I've been to, and Buda is definitely just full of mountains, full of hills. It's really nice place to visit. Tomorrow we're going to be visiting Pest, which is the other side of Budapest. So I'm excited to show you guys that, but that should also be really exciting. But it's just been an amazing day here in Budapest. No better way to end this day than with the sunset like this. I mean, look at the cotton color skies that are right behind me. That is absolutely stunning. But anyways, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you did, definitely give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more food and travel videos. I'll see you guys in the future.